All right, what's going on, y'all? Uneducated Yogi here, One Family Investing. Today is another reaction video. Okay, I'm gonna do a reaction video to this video, but um, wealth access video, Wall Street Trapper. So there's not a lot happening right now just because the market is closed. It's Memorial Day. Actually, I'm supposed to go out and get a free lunch or dinner because I'm a veteran. But I didn't. I didn't. Uh, when my partner gets back, if if she allows me, I'm gonna go get a free. I'm gonna go get some dinner. Okay. So, anyways, so the market's closed today. So the market is not open, and obviously, ICP, Bitcoin, like that, it doesn't rely on the market being open or closed because cryptocurrencies they can be traded all day, every day. Um, so yeah, um, I found really cool cryptocurrency in the stock market, and me is ETF. So this is XRPI. So this ETF actually represents when XRP goes down, you make money off this ETF. So XRP is a cryptocurrency, but on Robinhood, you can trade this ETF. And I'm gonna just hit back because right before that, XXRP, you see this right here? XXRP, you see that? So XXRP is a ETF that follows XRP. So XRP is a cryptocurrency that is being utilized by like a lot of companies right now. Um, you'll, yeah, I'm not even gonna act like I know which companies they are, but basically, uh, cryptocurrency. There's a cryptocurrency called Ethereum. Ethereum has this thing called smart contracts. Smart contracts is a cryptocurrency on the blockchain. If you don't know what blockchain is, look up blockchain because that's what makes all cryptos important, anyways. It's not the crypto themselves, it's the blockchain that hosts the cryptocurrencies. So even Bitcoin is the first cryptocurrency. But what made it important is the blockchain, not Bitcoin itself. But Bitcoin itself also has uh, value within itself. But the blockchain, so XRP, Litecoin, Chainlink, Ethereum, all these are on the blockchain. And when they get on the blockchain, that's what makes them a cryptocurrency. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. If not, look up blockchain, look up what makes a cryptocurrency valuable. So XRP is a cryptocurrency that is not slowly, it's been valuable because smart contracts. Like when you had to buy a house or buy a car or anything like that, let's use a house. So if you buy a house, you got to put a down payment, and that down payment goes into escrow. For that down payment to go into escrow, you need an attorney and a certain type of contract. And let's just say you're the person who owns the house, I'm the person who wants to buy it. I send my money to escrow, aka an attorney, so it's through a legal system. I send my money to escrow, but when I do that, I got to pay a fee to even do that. It's like when you get a loan. Yeah, I want a loan, but then you got to pay a fee to get the loan. So in order for me to buy a house from you, I got to put it in escrow, my down payment, and then it gives me 7 to 14 days to inspect the property, make sure things are good. And when things are good, we let the attorney know that hey, everything is good, and then you get your money. So what we're doing with cryptocurrencies and a smart contract is we're cutting out the middleman, meaning I don't have to pay an extra fee to somebody to make sure that the contract is being being met. So with cryptocurrency on the blockchain, if I wanted to buy a house from you, I can buy a house from you and I don't need to go through escrow because what's called a smart contract. So this smart contract is we put everything online on the blockchain, and until that contract is met, like you don't get paid and I don't get the house, right? So I want the house and you want to get paid. So what we'll do is we'll go into XRP or whatever, a smart contract. We'll put a smart contract on the blockchain, and then when the contract is met, that's when you get paid and the house ownership goes over to me. Okay? So XRP is important in that sense. But anyways, I don't know how I got on that. So when XRP goes up or down, this particular ETF, it goes up 2 times the amount of XRP. So if XRP goes up $1, this goes up $2. If XRP goes up $2, this goes up $4. If XRP goes up 30 cents, this goes up 60 cents. So it's cool because when we understand that XRP, the importance of XRP, and we stay in the understanding of what's going on because maybe there's a different cryptocurrency that does the same thing. Um, so that happens. But XRP is in the top of its game right now. So if let's just say I had a couple of moves to where I feel safe and I got like $1,000, $500 to risk, I would risk it in XRP just because I understand the importance of XRP and the utility of XRP. There's a lot of cryptocurrencies that's going to go down to zero. The ones that's not going to go down to zero are the ones that have a purpose. You can implement it to do something. So XRP is one of them. XRP, it allows smart contracts and it is utilized by multiple people, multiple companies, multiple things. So, anyways, I just wanted to share that because the market's slow today. Um, there's not a lot happening, basically. So, even with these my option watch lists, I can't wait till tomorrow to see what's going on with those. Again, ICP, it has been moving. It was over here earlier. It's done this. And Bitcoin, let's put this at a 1 hour, just like the ICP. So as you can see, Bitcoin, it did the same move. Okay, let's see what day this is. At 5 o'clock on May 25th, a move happened. It went up, it's going down. So Bitcoin is like the leader of cryptocurrencies. And then we go over here, May 25th, 5 o'clock. Look at that. It goes up and then it goes down. So Bitcoin is the leader of cryptocurrencies, and other cryptocurrencies tend to follow it. Okay. So I just want to share that just because. What I would do today, if you're just getting into buying, selling stocks and cryptocurrency, watch my last video, and it talks about what we should be doing right now, and it'll help. Okay, so but this one is Wall Street Trapper, the silent market indicator billionaires watch, and you should too. Let's just watch maybe a little bit of it, maybe the whole thing. I don't know, but this is what I just watched a second ago, and I want to share with y'all because hey, y'all going on a journey with me, right? So let's do it.
All right, y'all, listen. Stocks are the pretty face that the financial world wears, but bonds are the heart and soul of the American economy. And today we're going to talk about why bonds are so important, what's their.
Oh yeah, that's what it was about. So the bonds. So I haven't heard this about bonds before. So that's why I'm sharing this video. Yeah, I just didn't have this understanding with bonds. And that's what's cool about actually constantly doing research and constantly understanding things, because me understanding this one video is going to help me strategize how I can move in the future and what I should do in the future. So it'll help you too. Maybe. Let's take a look.
Importance in economy and why you need to know about them, y'all. Like if you really truly locked in on the stock market, like you understand like why they talk about the 10-year yield so much. Like this thing controls interest rates, it controls funding, it controls what your house note is, your car note is, what you pay on your credit cards. If you take the stock market serious, you definitely want to check into this video, because when the bond market is going up, it's a good chance stocks are going down. And I need you to pay attention to this, y'all. This is going to help you navigate. Listen, it's your boy, the Wall Street Trapper, man. You know, my goal is to help you build wealth. My goal is to help you navigate the markets. And my goal is to help you turn your last name into an asset. So listen, man, before we get into this video, I want you to like, I want you to subscribe and share this with me. I would appreciate that so much. But ultimately, I want you to get in the comments, man, and tell us exactly how this video helped you, but also how can we help you a little bit more. Let's get into it. So, man, we talk about the bond breakdown right now, Trap. So, like, essentially, what are bonds? Let's put it like in this situation, right? Like a bond is a debt, right? So we're gonna use this for like an easy little breakdown. So I'm in my building right now, right? And let's say I wanted to get a loan, but I didn't want to go to the bank, right? And I needed $1 million to get this building where I needed to go at. And so let's say I had 10 bonds for $100,000. That's right. So if I had 10 bonds, if I'm issuing 10 bonds, which is 10 debt issuance, meaning these 10 bonds equal $100,000 and they all worth $1 million together. So let's say I say, listen, everybody who buys this bond, the rate that I'm going to pay you on this bond is 10%, right? So let's say on each bond, I'm paying 10% annually, and the bond matures in 3 years. So I mean, every year I pay you 10% of 100,000, which is what? $10,000. And then at the end of the term, I give you your $100,000 back. Yep, that's how bonds work. Now, of course, you're not gonna get a 10-year.
So it's like like a loan. So bonds are like America's loans on assets that it has. So what he just said was, is I have a building. So the building that Wall Street Trapper is in, he owns the building, and it's like creating, um, yeah, just it's creating a loan against the building. So he can do 10 bonds of $100,000 each, and I can buy a bond. So he's trying to raise money. I'm gonna buy one of those bonds for $100,000, and each month that I hold it, I get $10,000. And then he puts a expiration date on it. He said 3 months, for instance. So let's just, or 3 years. I forget what he said. So 3 years. So after the 3 years or 3 months, whatever he said, I get my $100,000 back. But why would he do that? He would do that because he's trying to raise money. So when America's in debt, it's trying to raise money, and when it's trying to raise money, one way that it does that is through bonds. Okay, so that's it, and we're gonna keep going. So imagine, yeah, just imagine how important a bond could be to America.
You gotta get a 10-year coupon on nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I'm using the easy math so we can understand. So I want to get $1,000,000. That's 100,000 times 10. I'm giving everybody who buy these bonds a 10% coupon, meaning I'm gonna give you 10% every year until the bond matures. Right? So that means the first year I'm gonna give you 10%. I'm gonna give you what? 10,000. Second year I'm gonna give you 10,000. That's right, until the bond matures.
Okay, my bad. Not monthly, but year. So it was a year. So at the end of the year, you would have $10,000, which is 10,000 divided by 12. That's about $833 a month. So that's what it comes out to.
Why do people do that? Why do companies do that? Why do countries do that? Because they use that money to build, and then once the build that they're building out starts to generate revenue, they can pay that. But the interest that you're paying is called servicing the debt. I'm servicing the bond until it comes into maturity. So now that we got that under control, let's take it to the next level, man. So for the most part, who buys bonds when it comes to America? Now, bonds make up, to me, I always said, bonds are the nervous system of America. That's right. They are the nervous system of America. You know why? Because America issues out bonds. Our largest bond holder out of everybody is the Federal Reserve. And then it's the people of America, your 401ks, your pension funds, your retirements. That's a majority of our bond money. Now, our two biggest outside of America is Japan, that owns about $1 trillion, and then China, who owns about $790 billion worth of bonds. And so a lot of times what America does is when it's time to pay that bond, what they do is refinance, they reissue that bond. That's important for you to understand. Interest rates are set by bonds. So there's this thing called the Fed fund rate. We're going to talk about this today. It's the 10-year note. Now, of course, everybody heard about Donald Trump getting on the thing and saying, yo, we going to do this 90-day pause, right? And I came on my thing and said, yo, he had to pause because the 10-year note got to 4.6, meaning the interest rate on that note was 4.6%. That is really, really high. That means it's expensive to do what? Service debt. Now, why does that make sense? Let's paint this picture. So America sells bonds. They do what's called a bond auction. In that bond auction, banks, institutions, and other countries come to buy the bonds. Now, as long as the bonds have a low interest rate on them, which is a return rate, which is 3.9, 4.1, something like that, it's cool, right? The thing is, though, when no one wants the bonds go up in price because they have to make them more attractive. The more people buy the bonds, the more the bonds are going to go down. And so this is how your 10-year note, your 10-year treasury starts to fluctuate in price. Well, Trap, how does that make sense? Well, if our 10-year is not attractive and it's the bond that we sell the most, you have a 30-year, 20-year, 10-year, 5-year, 2-year, 1 month. You want to know why Warren Buffett made so much money? He was buying 30, 60, 90-day bonds, getting that premium on it. All right. So if nobody wants to buy our bonds, then now, watch this, that bond rate goes to going up. Now, well, Trap, why does that make sense? Well, if the bond goes over 4.6, 4.7, 4.8, 4.9, that means everything is truly expensive for us, the American consumer. That means, watch this, y'all. That means mortgage rates go up. So that means home buying slows. That means car loans, business loans, credit cards, they go up. So now that means what? Spending slows. Companies borrow less. So what does that mean? Growth slows. So if you listen to the market, you hear them saying, hey, they're having a growth slowdown or they're doing that. That means something is happening here, right? And this is why they always want the Fed to cut rates, because they want rates to be low. If rates are low, America can fund the growth of America, right? Now let's talk about this right quick. If China doesn't buy the bonds, watch me, and Japan was selling some bonds. You see where I'm going here? That drove the bond up, because now you getting your money out and this person not buying it, that causes the bond to go up. Now we have an issue. Now they're saying, yo, something could break. And the reason why they're saying something can break is because if that bond gets high like that, then that means a lot of money is being paid, and we can't afford that. We as America can't afford that. So let's go a little further. Also, it means more expensive for the government to borrow money, increasing the national debt servicing costs. So our government issues bonds, watch this, to get money to service the $37 trillion debt. So it's this cycle. They borrow money to pay the debt. So this is also why it's important that the bond stay low, because they can service the debt real cheaper. Now, let's go a little further than that. This is why it's real important for you to understand. The bond market is actually wealthier than the stock market. The bond market is worth $53 trillion, while the stock market is worth $46 trillion. So watch this. Treasuries are like government debt. So when you hear the 10-year treasury, the 20-year, these are debt for the government. But then you have municipal bonds. That's for your state and city. That's how your state and city. So you can go to like municipal, you can go to that court, the municipal court. Next, I want you to understand something. Bonds equal government, and bonds are bought mostly by the government, big companies, and institutions. So what I mean institutions, we talking about your Goldman Sachs, we talking about your Morgan Stanleys, we talking about your retirement funds, we talking about your pension plans. That's who buys the bonds. Stocks represent ownerships in companies, but bonds represent debt, and that is where the real money is. The real money is always in bonds. So let's go a little deeper in that situation, right? Now, when we think about bonds, I want you to think about it like this, right? So people are like, man, Trap, man, like, why would that ain't why we got out of the situation with Trump. And I said, listen, it wasn't even that for me, because I like numbers, because numbers don't lie. We were watching a counter punch each other with China and America. And let's talk about that for a second, right? So here's what happens, right? China understood for a fact, if you're going to raise those tariffs on me like that, right? One of the things I can do is I can stop buying your bonds. And if Japan sells the bond, that increases the price. Well, what America has to do is say, okay, how do we get this situation right? Okay, here's what we got to do. We got to release or pause the tariffs on everybody, so that what? So that the bonds can come down, so that people can go back to doing businesses. So the 90-day pause is about letting people do business. So what? You can have some growth so that people can start doing what? Maneuvering around, doing a couple things. And what does that do? It brings the bonds down. Another thing, why is that important? Bonds, a good bond makes America look attractive. If America looks attractive, one thing is for sure, two for certain, America is the most attractive place to do business.
All right, so Wall Street Trapper, he's releasing some super knowledge right here that I can't even. Um, I like the explanation. I thought he was, this is my first time watching the video, so I thought he was going to actually share like either a ETF or something that we could invest in to utilize this knowledge. Um, yeah, I mean, this is just good knowledge at the end of the day because I mean, I didn't know it worked like that, but you know, us trying to make some moolah, we want to know like where I got to put my money at. So it don't look like he's gonna go over that before the end of the video. So I'll end it there. But just so y'all know, um, I feel like I feel like I meant to bring up something, but I didn't. I don't know what it was. Um, yeah, since the market is closed, I don't know. I don't know what it was going to be, but either way, we're really close to making money daily. So y'all know I'm a holder naturally. Um, so so this is my private, or it was my private portfolio. Apparently, it's going to be public now, but um, so I have all of my. This is my portfolio. All these stocks. I own all these stocks right here. Uh, Starting from Tesla, ending at uh, PAAS. So or starting at Big Litecoin. So yeah, I own all these stocks. And what's cool is I'm really excited about what I'm learning with the options trading. Um, I'm not at the place to being able to trade right now, but I think I'm gonna kill it. I ain't gonna lie. After what I've been learning, I think I'm about to be so tight at this shit. Like y'all really want to follow us. This just went from 399 to 4. But man, please follow me. Like I'm putting people again. We're a resource center, not financial advisor. I'm allowing or I'm putting out what I'm learning as I'm doing it, as I'm learning it. So not only will I get better at options trading and knowing how to do this stuff, you can get better too because I'm not just saying something and then going, "Hey, go try it." Like what I'm doing is I'm learning so much and I'm so I'm so ready to start option trade. It's crazy how it feels on my inside. Like I think I'm gonna really kill the game. Like I don't know what to say other than that. And I wanted to share that, but I wanted to put out um, just what I've been watching because again, I'm just showing y'all. I'm just being open and honest about what's going on with me. But keep paying attention. Option trading coming soon, and I'm not a bad person at reading charts and reading. You know, I think I think I'm gonna get good at this. Like I had $30 in my account, and I put some of these moves in, and I think this one is $40, but this was 24, this was 17. Even if I make a couple dollars, like 30 cents to a dollar, I still made money. It's the percentage that matters, not the actual move. So again, I'll say this again. So this one, price $24, $17. I probably wouldn't have been able to get this one because I had $30 in here, if y'all remember from the last video. And this is my watch list. I'm gonna see how even that works. So I'm doing stuff as like how I would ask y'all to do stuff. I wouldn't say just go start options trading. Create a watch list like this and learn what would have happened if you would have done this X, whatever that is. And as I click on it, I have no idea how to read all this shit. But tomorrow, because the market's closed today, but tomorrow, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see how this would have moved if I actually put money in it. The $24 estimated cost, $24. I can own. I can be ownership of 100 shares of SoFi at $24. And I'm gonna go back real quick. Let's say I wanted to buy SoFi right now. If I wanted to buy SoFi right now at 100 shares, 100 times 13, 13.34 equals, it will cost me $1,334. Okay, $1,335 now. So instead of paying that, I'm paying $17, bro, or $24. Man, that's nice. So I'm gonna see what happens with this, and then we're gonna keep going. Um, I ain't got nothing else to say. That was it. I just wanted to put out something because I want y'all to know that I'm actually still doing something, even though the market is slow or chill because of Memorial Day. I was excited for it to open today, and then I remembered it's the holiday, and I was like, dang it. So here we are. But please, if you got this far, like, subscribe. I'm working on it. My goal is 50 subscribers. I need 50 subscribers to do live streams. And I really want to do live streams because it will not take up so much memory on my laptop as I'm trying to do this. So we get to 50 subscribers, and I don't know, depending on where I'm at, I might do like a little giveaway or something. I don't know. But anyways, like, subscribe. Thank you for being here. Again, Uneducated Yogi, One Family Investing. Love y'all. What we do here is we learn. This is part of the learning process. Invest. Watch the last video of what to do right now. Um, invest. Even if you don't invest, at least get one of these brokers and put money into it, because when it's time to invest, you will be ready. So we learn, we invest, and we make profit. All right, One Family Investing. I'm out. Love. Peace.